Yo, what's up guys? Already did make the video on the new Luna based in Giants, but she was already in Dragons before, so she will definitely still be in Dragons. However, a few things changed. I haven't fully tested it out yet, but throughout the process of this video, I will be testing it out. So before the buff of Luna, where Luna gets the turn back on the skill 3, she needed to be a specific speed. Even more, the Julia and the Shina had to be a specific speed, and for that reason, Luna could take a double turn and then the Kyle could move. So actually it's this turn order. But let me write it down how it looked like before. So the speeds that you needed to have was the Julie on 120, Shina at an 86, Luna at a 60, Kyle at 52, and then a Liam at 51. And for that reason, you would have the turn order of Julie into Shina into Luna into Kyle, and then you had the Liam move. And this was the best way to get the boss below, well, I would say that let's say it over here, was below 35% HP. Leo. This was the main idea of that team, right? But the thing is, since we don't need Luna to overtake Luna here exactly, we could maybe do a Luna Kyle and then a Kyle Luna, for example. So if we were to do this, we can probably change these speeds of these units to a lot lower. So it's very likely that it maybe becomes this, and this would become this. So let's actually check it out on the speed sheet that you see on the back here. Let's see if that actually works out. And I do also want to check, because Luna does have this specific speed. I have seen some people that just go like the plus 50 speed on the whole team. I don't recommend to do that, because let's say you go plus 50 on this whole team. So let's say we go 54 is probably like 53, so like all of this. Technically, you could do this if they were in the right turn order. Then the team order would be something like this. And you wouldn't have a second Luna hit. And with this, there's no way that you're actually going to get this threshold. So I've seen some people try this. I don't recommend that, because at this point, the boss is going to be like this much. So, and this is bad. You don't want to have this, because that's just too low on the HP of the, or too high on the HP of the boss. And therefore, Liam will not S3 always. So that team is just going to fail too much. So you definitely do want to have, I think it's about 35%. I don't even know exactly what the number is, but the lower the better. That's just the name of the game, the lower the better. But let's actually check if we tweak these numbers that you see on the back over here. It's not zoomed in that much, but maybe you can still read it. But let's see what we can get to still get a Luna double turn, but we go for the Luna Kyle combination, for example. So after testing a little bit back and forth, this is what I came to. It's maybe a little bit difficult to read, but we can get a Julie at this. We would have to do Shina here. We have to do Luna at the same speed, and I'll explain why later. And then we can go for the Kyle this, and we also have to do the Liam that's actually a bit slower. But in this case, we're comparing it to the enemy boss, so Liam will never be able to take a turn in waves. So if anything goes wrong in waves, that will be bad for you. But this definitely does slow down the run by quite a bit. You do have to make a faster Luna. That's the thing that you have to keep in mind. But if we zoom in a little bit more into this, I can show you why that is. So, wait, maybe a little bit too much. It's probably best readable. So the thing that we have is that we need to outspeed the Liam. And the only way to outspeed the Liam is actually making the Liam slower. So we're checking Liam only towards the boss and not towards the waves itself. And for that reason, we can make Luna move just in front of it. That just has a little bit more speed. So Luna can go for the double hit right after the Kyle. So in this case, we would have a Luna moving into Kyle getting the second turn, Kyle moving. And then we have Luna moving. And then we have the boss below a certain HP threshold. And then the Liam moves. What helps with this is that if you, let's say, have a decent or like a good Luna, but you don't really have a good Shina or a good Julie, this can definitely lower the rune quality on those two. Plus, it can give you the chance that if you go for the right side, you can add more fight runes. So maybe you can make your Julie on a swift fight or a fatal fight, and you can make your Shina a maybe triple fight. And for that reason, your Luna and your Kyle will tend to do a lot more damage. So for that reason, I would say that the right setup is probably the best way to rune this. And I will put this towards the optimizer, give that a try, see that it actually works rather than just looking at the numbers here and assuming that it works. And from there, I'm also going to be checking into, can I maybe make a Julie one-shot waves? I have no clue. I would actually check that before that, because my Julie is currently ruined on pretty much my best Julie build that I have. That is for Giants. So if I can use that in Dragons, I maybe one-shot waves. I don't think I can, but just giving that a try. We're going to see how that works out. And otherwise, I'm just going to ruin like this, or like the left side I have showcased in previous videos. I will link those videos down below as well if you want to know how this team works and that kind of stuff. Also, if you, like I always get asked what are Liam replacements, I will leave all of the Liam replacement videos in there as well. But then on the right side, this is going to be like the new thing, which is only possible since the Luna buff. But you have to keep in mind that if you keep the Luna towards the old speed Luna would look something like this. And from there, you can immediately see that Luna would take the second turn in here rather than in here. So you need to take the turn here before the Liam. And for that reason, she has to be like that little bit speed faster. And that's what she gets on the 64. So let's rune it up. But first, let's look at if this Julie that I have right now for my Giants team could maybe one-shot the boss. I am going to change one thing because I actually did switch around. I tweaked a bit for the Giants team itself as well. I might make a video on it later, but it's really like small things, so it's not that interesting. But let's switch this one back to that. And let's just give it a try in normal and to see just how much damage we would lack or not lack to actually kill the boss. So this team is not fully. I would say that if I was able to one-shot, I would probably be looking at a Lauren instead of a Shiner because it's just a better unit. Would I be using exactly this? I could actually be using exactly this. Let's see if... I just have to make sure that the things are for right speeds and that kind of stuff. Yeah, I could actually be using this all together. So let's just give it a try. I will give the Lauren hit to something else. And I just want to see if the Julie is able to one-shot these crystals, which I kind of doubt. Let's see. No, that's still pretty far off. So that ain't gonna happen. I could make a world where I would say that Deborah moves right in between there. And then the Deborah moves in front of the... units as well, and with that I would be able to. It is an option, but I'm not sure if that would be the greatest of ways. Also, I would have to make the Luna still faster because the Luna doesn't take the double turn at that position right now. So I would have to speed up all of those units a little bit in the first place, but I could maybe make a Julie into a Deborah, clear waves, and then work it from there. That's maybe something that I'll try at the end of the video as well, but first, I'm going to showcase like how it would look like if you actually have like the Julie thing going back and forth. Because in this case, you can also see that the Julie or the Luna is too slow, and therefore this thing would move in between. So even though I think you still need everything on plus 63, or no, wait, you still need your... Yeah, if you want to make the Luna double turn, you still have to get your Julie on the 68, which would be too fast. So I'm definitely going to try this one into this one for clearing waves, and then this one as the backup, because I do think that Lauren is a lot better of an armor breaker than Shaina is. The question is, if you want to make Lauren move all the way first, probably I will, because the Julie actually does do pretty good damage to the boss as well, which does help the threshold for this. But that's something that we're going to look at later. Let me first rune up the team as I showcased it over here, and then we're going to see how that works, and then from there we're probably instantly going to switch it. So everything is runed up right now and set in the right turn order, I think. Let me double check that later. So we have this one runed, that one runed. Yep, I did go for a lot of fight sets. You guys probably would say like, oh, I don't have that many fight sets. Is it necessary? It's not entirely necessary, but let's just see how this runs. And I do think this would run a lot smoother right now for a lot of people, because in the end, you do lower the rune quality on quite some of those units by quite a lot. Especially for these two, the rune quality on those two is definitely decreased a lot. Plus, there's maybe a way that we could replace the Kyle in this position, but let's see how much damage we actually do on this part. So we do have, yeah, that's a good amount of damage. Then we have the Luna moving once again. Yeah, this is so like, this is 100,000% like perfect AI range. Like in this position, you don't even need a Liam. Like that's also the question I got like a lot of the times. Do you need a Liam? In this position, if you were to place a Patrick over here, or pretty much probably any damage dealer, because I think a lot of damage dealers on their skill 3 would do easily enough damage, because this is overkilling the whole boss by probably like 40-50%. So that's definitely a nice way to run this whole team. Let's actually run it at full speed just to showcase like how fast it is for itself. Because I think this is one of those 20... Is this 24-second average? I'm not 100% sure. Let's actually just see. I do have the Kyle, which is a little bit slower than the Delsim, so you have to keep that part in mind. But yeah, you can definitely see that this is incredibly fast. And this is also a lot easier to rune. Plus, you're definitely gonna get that threshold that you need. So in this case, it is still depending on like, okay, what kind of skills do they do at which moment? But this is like absolutely the threshold for killing it. You could definitely put like even the Water Geralt in there. it will absolutely kill. So 23.5 seconds, that's definitely a nice one. I do think since we do that much more damage right now, we can make this run a little bit safer as well. Because the issue with this whole run is still that China has to land armor break. If China doesn't land armor break, the run will fail. Like pretty much, well, not always guaranteed, but pretty much always guaranteed. So she has 2 hits of landing an armor break. She is on max activation rate with the 26 plus a 15 over here, plus the 25 over here. However, if she would miss it, which is a 2.25% chance on a double 85 check, then it still will fail. One of the things that I tried in the past to make that better was actually putting a Sabrina in here, because Sabrina's skill 1 also has a chance for armor breaks. Sabrina's skill 2 also has a chance for armor break. So in that position, it might be a little bit better. However, you still need to land that armor break before the Luna. So in that position, it might be that it's just helping like the little bit extra activation rate that from her skill 1, which is a lower-ish chance as well. But let's see if we can make that work and still do enough damage, because before with the Kyle, or before with the Sabrina team, I was just not doing enough damage to make this work. But let's see if this version of the team might actually make that work. So this will be the China build. I also gave China accuracy skill 1 to have extra chance on her S1 to land that armor break, which is the main thing that we're aiming her for. With that said, I can also improve this to go for damage on co-op as well, because we don't need as much damage on like additionals to clear out the wave. So this will probably be the best way. I could probably also up the accuracy and then also put the accuracy together with a co-op line, but I'm not sure if I have an artifact that would actually fit that well. Nah, it seems that I would kind of be lacking any damage kind of source as well. So I'm going to keep in that normal artifact that I have. It might be that this one is a little bit better if we actually want to min-max things. But let's see right now if we run it with a Sabrina, which makes it that we have less chance of missing the armor break on mid-boss and final boss, because both of them have max accuracy. And then we're going to see if that actually would work, that we can still easily get the threshold on the Liam, because that was the main thing. We do need the threshold on the Liam. Would you say, like, okay, let's put in a Deborah and let's not make the Deborah move? Well, the thing is, we need to have 1 unit. No, that's not really 100% perfect AI range. That's definitely not. Kyle does a lot more damage than Sabrina does, actually. But yeah, that percentage that we saw over there, it is safer for the sake of landing armor breaks. But that is definitely not perfect AI range. Let's give it one more try. Let's see if there's a little bit more damage going in, or if it's possible to get a little bit more damage in. But I kind of doubt it. I kind of doubted that it would be enough, because that was about like 45% HP bar of that unit, which is just simply not enough. That's not going to work. But yeah, as I was talking about, the Deborah would not work because you need 1 unit to move after the Luna itself. Yeah, no, this is, like I said, that's not perfect AI range. So you definitely do need a Kyle. The Sabrina thing definitely still does not work. It's not good enough. I wouldn't recommend it. Sure, this run will still succeed. Most likely, yeah, it will definitely succeed, because the Liam takes a second turn and then he goes for the skill over there. So if you don't die, it's still fine, of course. But yeah, would not recommend to go for that. Would recommend to keep the Kyle in there, and then you're just looking at the 2.25% lose chance. That's just as simple as it. But yeah, like I tried to say a few times already, but every time got interrupted by the boss stage, kind of. If we put a Deborah in here, the big issue with this hole would be that the Deborah wouldn't move, and therefore the Luna doesn't get enough attack bar to actually cut you, I think. But let me double check that in the spread sheet. So in that case, we would have you not moving at all, so just removing that altogether. Yeah, in that case, you can see that I would have to make the Luna just a little bit faster, actually. Oh, no, wait, I have to up these both at the same time. So, yeah, in that position, I would have to make my Luna so much faster to actually overtake the... Well, is it doable? I actually want to give it a try to see if it's doable, because it might actually be interesting, because I do a lot more damage right now than I did before. But, oh, the Luna has to be crazy fast, actually. So I would have to be looking at an 83 Luna to make that work with a Deborah. Let's just give it a try. That will be a lot more difficult, because now I need my China to be back at 83 as well. My Julie is still the same, but my Luna has to be plus 83 to make to hit double. So yeah, in this case, I still need the same speed on the Julie. China has to be 83, Luna has to be 83, and then the Kyle, which is the Deborah in sense, wouldn't have to move at all. And then this thing. So let's give that a try. I'm not entirely sure if that would work. Would be dope if it works, because this team specifically has given me the fastest speeds out there for dungeon runs. If I could make it more consistent this way, it would be pretty nice, but I think the Luna is going to be too high on speed for me to get proper stats in, but let's see. Okay, so having that all runed up where we had to make the China plus 84, so a little bit over that. This one also plus 84, and then the Deborah will move at the same exact speed as Liam, but then also move after that. So let's see how this works. I think it might still work, so I'm not still sure, but let's actually see. So we do still clear those, that's totally fine. In this case, yep. Would this one-shot it? Wouldn't one-shot it. Oh, yeah, we do have an issue of that. So I did check it according to the final boss. I didn't check it according to the mid-boss. That's, of course, also a thing that you would have over there if there's nothing cutting in between. But let's actually see how this would work for the final boss if I were to get it towards the final boss. No, also not enough damage. So in the end, like if I would make the Luna even faster to cut in like the mid-boss and that kind of stuff to cut like the crystals, still wouldn't do enough damage. So I think that this way I did run it for a little bit with the Deborah in there, which was actually my fastest team, but I had to make like the Julie fast, the China fast and that kind of stuff, but therefore also could make the Luna back at like a normal speed where she's just like plus 160 or so, or yeah, she's 163, so she's plus 60. So for that reason that kind of does work. So in the end, all of that doesn't really help you at all, but the part that definitely does help you is going to be checking out this one on the right side. So definitely if you were to play this team right now, I would recommend it to rune it this way, unless you would say like I have a very good Julie at 120 and then this thing triple fight at 86. Then you could go for this one on the left. If you say like, okay, that's kind of a struggle for me, I can't make the Julie and China one-shot those things, then I would go for the team on the right. However, I would not go any slower than this because it would just make it more troublesome where the Luna wouldn't take the double turn and therefore it wouldn't be great. So if you want to do this, the main thing that you want to aim for is getting this thing as low as possible, plus that these two have to clear the waves. So those are the main thresholds that you're looking at. These two have to clear the waves, and then the rest all has to get the boss below like 35% each. If you get that, you will get like the highest effective run on this itself. However, keep in mind that the Shine is the only armor break, and it still can miss, so this run is going to fail from time to time. However, that's all there is for this video. Once again, if you need replacement for the Liam, Gerald is a good replacement, Patrick is a good replacement. After that, I think with how much damage I was doing, you could probably put in like any skill, like high damage skill 3 kind of unit that could be put on triple fight and then still do a lot of damage in there. I think there would be quite a bunch of options in there actually. No clue about naming some. Wait, let me actually check. Let's see what are water units that do tend to have like a pretty high hit. I would say it would be nice if you can actually still get attack lead in there. So I would say just Gerald. Gerald is free to play. That's probably the best option you have out there for like high damage on the skill 3. And it also helps a little bit more with the Shiner waves. It helps not that much for the Luna though. So I have to keep that in mind. Your Luna will do a little bit less damage, but your Kyle will do a little bit more damage. So I would say that the best replacement, if you want to go free to play style, is going to be this thing, because this thing does have a good amount of damage on that skill 3 as well. So guys, that's all there is for Luna in Dragons. I've been asked a few times about a Luna in SF or PC as well. Well, PC is not going to work because Luna absorbs the attack bar of the boss and then makes the boss insta move. You don't really want that. In SF, it might be good, but the thing is that you are always bound to the buff block, which is just shit. And then Brandia just becomes so good in SF that I don't think that a Luna would overtake the Brandia by any chance. So you could say maybe use a Luna if you don't have a Brandia. That could be an option, but otherwise I would probably stick to the Luna, or I would stick to the Brandia for sure. Because it's also, if Luna gets a hit from like the laser and blah blah, that kind of stuff, she will not be on perfect AI range and she will not always do her skill 3. So that's all there is for this video. Hope you enjoyed. If you did, like this video, subscribe to the channel, and see you as always in the next one. Thanks for watching. If you would like to see more guides, join the Discord and check out the content tab, which has the dungeon guide archive and the video guide archive, which contains all of the guides that you need. Hope to see you there.